Okay, I have something very different and unique for you today. Fox News reporter Chris Wallace has called out Fox News's totally biased and ridiculous reporting on the Mueller report, and he did it while broadcasting on Fox News. Fox News host calls out Fox News on Fox News. That's the headline. And I want to kind of set the stage for you here before we get to the clip. Fox News is a total right-wing propaganda network that is almost indistinguishable from the talking points of the Trump administration at this point in time. That's the general layout. But there are two, sometimes a third person on Fox News who sometimes are willing to tell pretty uncontroversial truths, which in the echo chamber that Fox News has created can actually seem notable or controversial in some way. And it's mostly Shepard Smith. Sometimes it's Chris Wallace, and every once in a while there's this Fox News judge named Andrew Napolitano who will say something accurate. Recently, he's had some pretty good takes on the Mueller report and on obstruction. And as I've said before, normally when Shep Smith and Chris Wallace, quote, tell the truth, it's really basic stuff. Like they point out that a blatant lie by Donald Trump is a lie. Okay, it's relatively uncontroversial, but on Fox News, it gets our attention. Sometimes when a Trump official is dishonest, Shep Smith will just tell us that's not true. You're not being told the truth there. And I've told you that it's a net plus to have people like Shep Smith and Chris Wallace on Fox News, but that they're not going to do any serious questioning of the bigger contextual issues that make Fox News a problem. Shep and Chris are what would be called safe dissenters, or calculated dissent, so that Fox News can actually say we're totally objective and we allow diversity of opinion and all of that sort of stuff. But Chris Wallace actually did something interesting yesterday. He actually said the opinion programming on Fox News is pushing a dishonest political agenda when it comes to the Mueller report, and more specifically when it comes to this letter that we learned about that was sent by Robert Mueller to William Barr to say, you're not really representing my report accurately here. And here's the clip. Chris Wallace, again, is really focusing on this scathing letter that Robert Mueller wrote. We covered the letter yesterday. Mueller makes it clear that what the Justice Department is doing in terms of its representation of Mueller's work is not accurate. And Chris Wallace calls out the opinion side of Fox News.
You know, I know there's some people who don't think that this March 27th letter is a big deal. And, you know, some opinion people who appear on this network who may be pushing a political agenda. But, you know, we have to deal in facts. And the fact is that this letter from the special counsel, and it was one of at least 3 contacts with the Attorney General between March 25th and March 27th, was a clear indication that the Attorney General was upset, very upset, with the letter that had been sent out by the Attorney General and wanted it changed, or wanted at least added to, and the Attorney General refused to do so. He felt the Attorney General's letter was inaccurate.
So Chris Wallace actually misspeaks there, and he says the Attorney General was upset with the Attorney General. He meant the special prosecutor, Robert Mueller, was upset with the Attorney General, but good for Chris Wallace. But, there is a but in here, which is that Chris Wallace criticized just the opinion side of Fox News, which is a common thing that Fox News defenders do. They say, okay, listen, the opinion side has a right-wing slant, and that's okay, because we're counteracting the left-wing slant everywhere else. That this is their claim, not mine. But the news side of Fox News, of which Chris Wallace is a part, actually does a really good job. And unfortunately, the news side has been a disgrace as well. And Liz Power from Media Matters posted to her Twitter page an example of the ridiculous coverage from the news side of Fox News on this issue as well. Here is a news show on Fox News interviewing one of the most partisan, toxic actors in the history of presidential investigations. They interviewed Kenneth Starr, who you might remember investigated Bill Clinton in the 90s, saying nothing to see here in the Mueller report, nothing to see here in the Mueller letter, which is, of course, a blatant lie. And Fox News host Bill Hemmer allows it unchallenged, including that the letter from Mueller to Barr is just no big deal. So this is the news side being just as much of a disaster. Take a look.
How do you size this up in what appears to be, at least for the moment, a story of he said and he said? sir?
Yeah, it doesn't, I know a lot is being made out of it, but it looks to me as if at the end of the day, there's very little. Look, this is a 440-plus page report. And as you paw through the report, it is so detailed. And so there's nuance there, right? So it's not surprising that the author of the report would say, you didn't get it exactly right. But the key is, did you get something wrong? Were you misleading? Were you inaccurate? Something that you said false. And there, Bill Barr gets a 100% grade. So he gets an A+.
Okay.
Just an absolutely fantastic handling by William Barr. So listen, Chris Wallace is right. The opinion side of Fox News is a total joke on this issue. But the Fox News side is just as much of a joke, and maybe dangerously more so, because media literacy is such an abomination in this country that Fox News viewers are watching news and thinking they're getting, or rather they're watching what is effectively opinion, but it's packaged as news, and they think they're getting just the facts and not opinion, when in reality they're getting the same echo chamber partisan nonsense that Fox News does on the opinion side. So again, good for Chris Wallace. A Fox News host calling out Fox News on Fox News, you don't see that every day. You don't see that every month. You don't see that every year. But the implication that the news side, which Chris Wallace is a part of and wants to protect from criticism, is doing some great job of informing us. Look at Bill Hemmer stand aside. As Kenneth Starr says, the letter's no big deal. The report is fine. William Barr gets a 100% A+. That's the news side that Chris Wallace claims to be defending. Absolute and total joke. Make sure you're following the David Pakman Show on Instagram at David Pakman Show. Somebody put together a really funny image where they photoshopped Sam Cedar's glasses onto me and his haircut and a sweater vest, which I wasn't even actually aware was Sam's thing, but I guess he's known for, so that it's the sort of completing the look of me stealing every element of Sam Cedar's visual presentation, and we've posted it to our Instagram page at David Pakman Show. Make sure you're following us there. While you're at it, follow me at david.pakman. We will take a break and be back with Josh Douglas right after this. Today's episode is sponsored in part by the BRD Bitcoin wallet. Whether you have experience with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies or you've been wanting to give it a try for the first time, BRD offers the most elegant, easy-to-use Bitcoin wallet out there. It's an app on Android and iOS, lets you trade cryptocurrencies, store all of your Bitcoin and crypto on the app totally free, send and receive Bitcoin with the app, use a credit card to purchase cryptocurrency, and it's 100% private and secure, virtually impossible for someone to hack your account. BRD themselves won't even know your information. There are no logins, no passwords. You just use your key to access your Bitcoin, and you're the only one who has access to it. It was the first ever Bitcoin wallet in the iOS App Store. They've been around since 2014. They have more than 2 million users. BRD is one of the oldest, most established, and most trusted Bitcoin wallets in the industry. We recently interviewed Aaron from the BRD team, and it was a great conversation. You should search our channel for it and check it out. All BRD wants to do is to make Bitcoin more accessible and simpler to use for those who want to use it. And that's what they've accomplished with their super powerful, easy to use app. Download it. It's perfect for anyone who's just getting started with Bitcoin. Just as good if you already know what you're doing. I've put a link underneath this video.